Ralph Lauren did not grow up rich. He started his career selling ties out of a drawer in the Empire State Building. He built a fashion empire from scratch, became one of the most recognized names in American design, and accumulated a net worth estimated at over $12 billion. And then, quietly, over 4 decades, he spent a portion of that fortune assembling what specialists now estimate is the most valuable private car collection in America, between $600 million and $700 million worth of automotive history stored in a renovated car dealership in Westchester County, New York. It is not open to the public. Nobody knows exactly how many cars are inside. The only times most people have seen them is when Lauren allowed 17 of them to be exhibited at the Louvre in Paris. Today on CAR SPARX, we are going through the cars that define this extraordinary collection, verified car by car, price by price. There is one car in this collection that sits entirely apart from everything else around it. The 1938 Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic Coupe, chassis number 57591, known as the Pope Atlantic after its first owner, British tennis player Richard Pope. 4 Atlantic Coupes were built by Bugatti between 1936 and 1938. The second, Jean Bugatti's personal car painted black, disappeared during World War II and has never been found. The third was destroyed in a train collision in 1955. Lauren's is the 4th and only the 2nd surviving example not in a museum. Its 3.3-litre supercharged straight 8 engine produces around 210 horsepower. Its body, shaped entirely from lightweight aluminium, was designed by Jean Bugatti himself and represents the peak of Art Deco automotive design. There are no straight lines anywhere on the car. Every surface curves into the next. Lauren purchased it in 1988 and commissioned Paul Russell of Essex, Massachusetts to restore it. The restoration took 9,600 hours over 2 years. It won Best of Show at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance in 1990 and again at the Villa d'Este Concorso d'Eleganza in 2013. Current valuation, between $100 and $150 million. It would be the most expensive car ever sold at public auction by a significant margin. Lauren has never indicated any intention to sell it. In 1985, Ralph Lauren paid $650,000 for a 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO, chassis number 3987 GT. Built as a factory racing car for the FIA GT Championship, it originally won the 1962 1000 kilometers of Paris and was subsequently raced in North America by the Mecom racing team, frequently driven by Roger Penske. 36 250 GTOs were produced between 1962 and 1964. Each buyer was personally approved by Enzo Ferrari before being allowed to purchase one. Lauren's example was later exhibited at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston in 2005 and was among the 17 cars he lent to the Louvre exhibition in 2011. In 2018, a 250 GTO that won the Tour de France automobile sold in a private transaction for $70 million. A second GTO sold 2 months later at RM Sotheby's for $48.4 million. Lauren's example, with its documented racing history and impeccable provenance, is conservatively valued at $50 million or above. He paid $650,000 40 years ago. That is one of the greatest investment returns in automotive collecting history. This is the car that, in the opinion of many serious pre-war automotive historians, represents the absolute peak of Italian racing and coach building combined. The 1938 Alfa Romeo 8 C2900B Mille Miglia Spider, chassis 412030. Only 4 of these 2-seater roadsters were built by the factory for the 1938 Mille Miglia race, with bodywork designed by Carrozzeria Touring of Milan. Driven by Carlo Pintacuda and Massimo Mambelli at the 1938 Mille Miglia, it finished in a remarkable second place overall. The car later passed through several significant owners, including a young Phil Hill, who would go on to become the first American to win the Formula One World Championship, who bought it from a deceased owner's estate and drove it to victory at Pebble Beach in 1951. Lauren purchased the car in 2004 from the estate of renowned alfisti Bill Seri and commissioned Paul Russell, the same specialist responsible for his Bugatti Atlantic restoration, to return the car to its exact 1938 Mille Miglia specification. The restoration was described by Paul Russell's team as the most technically demanding they had undertaken. That autumn, it won Best in Class at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, when Alfa Romeo was the featured marque. It was later shown at the Louvre exhibition in 2011. Current valuation, north of $20 million. Of all the cars in the collection, the 1930 Mercedes-Benz SSK Count Trossi is the one that nobody can fully explain. Out of 42 SSKs ever built, this is the only one whose coachwork remains unattributed. The car was shipped from Stuttgart to Japan in 1930 as a bare chassis, returned unsold, and eventually arrived in Italy, where it raced in multiple events, including the Mille Miglia. In 1933, Count Carlo Felice Trossi purchased it and had a unique custom body fitted. Who designed and built that body has never been conclusively established. Trossi bought and sold the car multiple times between 1932 and 1949. Lauren acquired it in the 1980s and commissioned Paul Russell's team for a 5,000-hour, 2-year restoration. The result was best of show at Pebble Beach in 1993 and again at Villa d'Este in 2007. The 7.1-litre supercharged engine produces a sound that Lauren has described as unlike anything else he owns. The car is considered unmistakable in any collection it enters. Lauren owns 3 McLaren F1s, but one stands entirely apart. The McLaren F1 LM is the road-going version of the car that won the 1995 24 Hours of Le Mans outright in one of the most extraordinary results in the race's history. McLaren finished 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 13th with 5 unmodified GT cars against purpose-built prototypes. To celebrate that victory, McLaren built exactly 5 F1 LMs for its most valued customers. 3 went to the Sultan of Brunei, 1 to a collector in Japan, and the 5th to Ralph Lauren. His example is finished in historic orange, the same color as the Le Mans winner. It is lighter than the standard F1, lower, and shares its engine specification with the GTR race car, a 6.1-litre BMW V12 producing 680 horsepower. The engine bay is lined with gold foil because no other material available could manage the heat output. Current valuation for an F1 LM, between $20 and $25 million. Lauren has described driving his F1 as the experience he uses to benchmark every other car he owns. Ralph Lauren's oldest car raced at the 1930 French Grand Prix at Pau and finished second. The Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing is one of those cars that appears in significant collections, not because collectors feel obligated to own one, but because every time a serious buyer sees one in person for the first time, something changes. Lauren owns one. He also owns the 300 SL Roadster. The Gullwing was the first production car in the world to use direct fuel injection and won the 1952 24 Hours of Le Mans and the Carrera Panamericana in the same year. Its upward opening doors, the Gullwings, were necessitated by the high door sills required by the tubular space frame chassis. 1,400 Gullwings were built between 1954 and 1957, of which 900 were exported to the United States. Lauren has shown his at Pebble Beach on multiple occasions. A Gullwing in excellent condition sells today for between $3 and $8 million, depending on specification. Lauren's example has also inspired furniture pieces in his home collection. He has said that design, in his view, is design regardless of its form. Lauren owns 2 Ferrari 250 Testa Rossas, making him one of the few collectors to hold multiple examples of one of the most historically significant Ferrari racing models. Only 34 were ever built. The 250 Testa Rossa won the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1958, 1960, and 1961, and is considered the car that established Ferrari's dominance of endurance racing. The nickname Testa Rossa, redhead in Italian, refers to the red-painted cam covers on the 3-litre Colombo Phi 12 engine producing 300 horsepower. The 1958 Scaglietti Spider, chassis 0734TR, came to Lauren through a documented chain of ownership, including several prominent American collectors. The 1961 Fantuzzi Spider, chassis 0792TR, was a later development version. Both have appeared at the Boston Museum of Fine Arts and at the Louvre. A comparable example sold in 2009 for €9 million. Lauren's examples are worth significantly more today. Among the modern cars in the collection, the Lamborghini Reventon stands as the most visually aggressive. Only 20 examples of the coupe were built, with one reserved permanently for the Lamborghini Museum. Lauren's example is a 2010 model, one of just 16 available to private buyers. The design was inspired directly by the F-22 Raptor fighter jet, and the aerodynamic surfaces, angles, and proportions were developed in consultation with aerospace engineers rather than traditional automotive stylists. Its name means small explosion in Spanish. A 6.5-litre V12 produces 670 horsepower. It was priced at approximately $1.6 million when new and is currently on display at the Odin Museum in Rhode Island. Lauren has been photographed standing next to it in a dark outfit, which, given the visual language of the car, is either a coincidence or entirely intentional. Lauren has said he cannot not name a favorite car. He compared it to being asked to name a favorite child. But the collection as a whole tells a story that is not primarily about money or status. Every significant car in it has either raced competitively at the highest level or represents a singular moment in the history of automotive design, or both. The Bugatti Atlantic is the most beautiful car ever made by the consensus of the people who spend their lives thinking about these things. The Ferrari 250 GTO is the most valuable production racing car in the history of the sport. The Alfa Romeo 8C 2900B came second overall at the Mille Miglia in 1938. The McLaren F1 LM celebrates one of the most improbable victories in endurance racing. This is a collection built not by a man who wanted to own expensive things, but by a man who understood that certain objects carry history inside them, and that looking after those objects is a responsibility rather than a hobby. Which car from this collection would you most want to have driven? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. We are Car Sparks. See you in the next one.